Suzy was a young boy when he committed a horrifying crime. He murdered 2 girls and cruelly sent their body parts to their parents. Now, after 18 years, he has been released from prison. He appeared on TV, crying and saying he was deeply sorry and wanted to apologize to the victims' families. But the truth was, Suzy hadn't changed at all. His tears were fake, just another act for the cameras. One day, when he reached his apartment, he saw a huge crowd gathered outside, angry and demanding justice. To avoid the chaos, Suzy slipped into a quiet, dark alley and tried to call his lawyer for help. While he was making the call, someone suddenly appeared behind him and knocked him out. When Suzy woke up, he found himself tied to a chair. In front of him was a TV playing a horror film, The Exorcist. His kidnapper was Chief Dam, who was just a normal investigator. Chief Dam stepped forward with a chainsaw and said, "Around 80,000 people go missing every year in Japan without a trace. If you disappear, no one will bother looking for you." With that, he turned on the chainsaw and slowly began cutting into Suzy's arm. Suzy screamed in pain, blood pouring from the wound. He asked if Chief Dam was doing this for revenge or for money. Chief Dam simply replied, "I just want to do something good." Suzy eventually passed out from the intense pain and blood loss. When he regained consciousness, he was placed in front of a mirror. What he saw shocked him. Both his arms and legs were gone. Chief Dam stood beside him and showed him a Christmas tree, made from Suzy's own severed legs. Then, Chief Dam took a photo of him. Moments later, Suzy died from blood loss and unbearable pain. Yasuno was just a college student when she went out with her classmates for a party. At the party, they played a batsu game, where the loser had to drink a glass of beer. Unfortunately, Yasuno lost and had to drink. After she got drunk, boys took her to a hotel room and did horrible things to her while she was barely conscious. When Yasuno woke up, she filed a case against them. But soon after, she was forced to drop it. They threatened to leak her video if she didn't stay quiet. Chief Dam found out about this through a fellow worker, and the moment his eyes twitched, it was clear someone was going to die. Later, a boy named Ayuma joined Ikwaki's group. Ikwaki's group was made up of some college boys who helped others lose their virginity, no matter how dark the method. Ayuma was desperate and wanted to try something wild. So Ikwaki repeated the same thing he did to Yasuno. They kidnapped another girl and gave Ayuma a chance to do as he pleased. But there was a condition. If Ayuma ever found a girl he liked, he had to share her with the group. Eventually, Ayuma fell in love with a co-worker. Because of that, he decided to leave the group and live a normal life with her. He informed Ikwaki, got his permission, and left, promising never to expose anything. But one night, while walking with his girlfriend, a van pulled up and kidnapped them both. It was all part of Ikwaki's plan, to teach Ayuma what happens to those who betray him. Right in front of Ayuma, Ikwaki and his gang abused his girlfriend. Afterward, broken and devastated, she tried to end her life, but failed. When Ayuma found out what had happened, he lost control. He stormed into the group's hideout with a hammer and killed every last one of them. Ikwaki tried to escape, but Chief Dam appeared and blocked his way. Later, Ikwaki woke up in a dark place. He was naked and tied to a table. Chief Dam stood before him, holding a cross covered in sharp spikes. Without hesitation, he inserted it into Ikwaki's hole and thrust it in and out, over 650 times. In the end, Ikwaki died from the unbearable pain and blood loss. This man is Masaharu, a self-righteous journalist. One day, he showed up at a house holding a microphone. A frightened woman opened the door. Masaharu had come because her son had committed a mass murder. Without knowing the full truth, Masaharu falsely reported on live television that the woman had abused her son and that her mistreatment had turned him into a killer. Though none of it was true, Masaharu spread the story everywhere. Unable to cope with the judgment and hate from society, the woman ended her own life. She also had a daughter. The girl was seen crying, clutching her mother's photo, when Masaharu arrived again, this time insulting her mother, calling her a poison who raised a murderer. At school, another situation was unfolding. A group of girls was bullying their math teacher, and the leader of this group was Masaharu's daughter. One day, the teacher, pushed to the edge, accidentally shoved her in self-defense. Soon after, Masaharu stormed into the school and accused the teacher of physical abuse. Even without solid proof, he broadcast the story live, demanding strict punishment. Because of the public outrage, the teacher was harassed non-stop outside his home. Overwhelmed and hopeless, he killed his wife, and then took his own life. Later, it was discovered that the teacher had left behind clear evidence on his laptop, showing how he was being bullied by students. When this was revealed to the public, the same girl who had led the bullying, Masaharu's daughter, was now being labeled a murderer. Crushed by the hate, She eventually ended her life too. When Chief Dam learned that Masaru only reported one-sided stories and misused his position, his eyes twitched. You know what that means. One day, while Masaru was driving, Chief Dam kidnapped him. When Masaru woke up, he found himself tied to a chair with Chief Dam standing in front of him. Without saying a word, Chief Dam poured acid onto Masaru's face. Then, he forced him to drink acid, which burned his throat and silenced his voice forever. Masaru died in agony, drowning in pain. One day, Chief Dam was commuting to work by train. On board was a man named Oga, someone who deeply hated both children and women. During the ride, a young mother stood nearby holding her crying baby. Annoyed by the noise, Oga began criticizing the woman, accusing her of being inconsiderate and disturbing everyone. Chief Dam, however, stepped in and called the baby cute, saving the woman from public embarrassment. Later at work, when Oga received a cup of tea from a female coworker, he made an inappropriate joke, saying she should use her own milk next time. The women in the office reported the incident, and Oga received a stern warning from his boss to watch his behavior. Angry and bitter, Oga walked home through a crowded street. As he moved through the people, he purposely bumped into several women, insulting them and spreading hateful comments. He even shoved into a woman pushing a stroller, forcing her to apologize to him as if she had done something wrong. The next day on the train, a similar scene repeated. Another mother was standing with her baby strapped to her chest. As she was about to get off, Oga secretly loosened the strap on her baby carrier, trying to make the child fall onto the tracks. Luckily, the mother managed to catch her baby just in time, but she was injured in the process. Right behind Oga was Chief Dam. His eyes twitched. You all know what that means. Later that evening, Oga went to a bar, ranting about how women shouldn't have rights and spouting nonsense. Chief Dam sat silently beside him. Not long after, Oga began to feel lightheaded, but still boarded the train home. On the train, a pregnant woman was standing. Oga figured no one would offer her a seat, but a kind woman did stand up to give her the spot. Before the pregnant woman could sit, Oga rushed in and took the seat himself. Soon after, he passed out from the dizziness. When Oga woke up, the train was completely empty, except for Chief Dam, watching him from the shadows. Moments later, Oga found himself tied up inside a baby stroller, placed on a narrow railway bridge. Chief Dam stood next to him, fastening the rope securely. Oga cried and begged for forgiveness, swearing he'd change, but it was already too late. Chief Dam pushed him off the bridge. Then, using a safety rope, Chief Dam jumped down too, and took Oga's picture midair. Oga hit the rocks below, and died instantly. Naoki was a young man who posted videos on social media, doing challenges like buying the entire menu from a restaurant. Despite his efforts, his videos never gained much attention, unlike other successful channels. Please subscribe, guys, he would say, hoping for a boost. One day, while driving, Naoki witnessed a tragic accident. A school student was killed on the road. Instead of calling for help, Naoki whipped out his camera and began recording. Although the accident was clearly an unfortunate mistake, Naoki uploaded the video, falsely claiming that the old man driving the car had done it on purpose. The video went viral, bringing him instant fame. To keep the momentum going, Naoki even went to the old man's house, hoping to get more footage. But when he arrived, the man wasn't home. Undeterred, Naoki still uploaded a video, urging his followers to spread more hatred. Soon, other influencers began showing up at the old man's house, hoping to either capture footage or stir up more hate. One day, Naoki returned to the old man's house. Police officers stopped him, asking him to leave. But Naoki insisted on continuing to record and even accused the police of trying to stop him for the sake of their own fame. Chief Dam was at the police station and overheard the conversation. He asked about Naoki, and after hearing the full story, his eyes twitched. Someone was about to die. Later, on a train, a girl accused a man of touching her inappropriately. Naoki, of course, started recording, calling the man a pervert. The man, clearly panicked, ran and tried to hide his face. In his haste, he accidentally jumped in front of a train and was instantly killed. Naoki captured the entire scene on camera and posted it, earning even more attention and popularity. The more graphic, the better for Naoki's views. It was later revealed that Naoki had paid the girl to falsely accuse the man, all for the sake of creating shocking content. That night, Naoki received a mysterious CD delivered to his doorstep. He played the video, expecting something random. But when he saw Chief Dam dancing on the screen, his blood ran cold. The video was filmed at Naoki's own house. Suddenly, Chief Dam appeared in person, standing before Naoki. Like every influencer says, "Thanks for watching," he said coldly. Naoki woke up in a dark place, the camera still recording him. Chief Dam then drove a car toward him. The tires, spiked with sharp metal, crushed Naoki's legs. Screaming in pain, Naoki saw the horrifying scene live on a large screen. Everything was being broadcast. But Chief Dam wasn't done. He returned to the car and crushed Naoki's limbs, one by one. Despite all the pain, Naoki was still alive, enduring the agony. Finally, Chief Dam set him on fire, ending Naoki's suffering in the most brutal way possible. These three boys, Tasano, Tamutso, and Takashi, were out with three girls. They all stopped by a local store to grab some snacks and buy fireworks for the evening. While inside, Tamutso casually opened a drink and started sipping it before paying. The store had a simple rule: pay before you consume. The manager politely reminded them of this. But instead of just apologizing, Tamutso got offended, accusing the manager of calling them thieves. The group mocked the poor man, humiliated him, and even forced him to apologize for simply doing his job. Later, they all went to an open field and began lighting fireworks. An elderly homeless man nearby approached them and gently told them that fireworks weren't allowed in that area. As soon as the girls heard that, they decided it was getting late and left. Blaming the homeless man for ruining their night, the boys grew furious and planned to get back at him. The very next day, they found the old man's small shed and destroyed it completely. Then, without even checking, they set it on fire and walked away. When the old man returned and saw what was left, he began to cry, not over losing his shelter, but because a precious photo of his family had been inside. Later that night, the boys stumbled across another homeless person's shelter. Without a second thought, they set that one on fire too. But this time, someone was still inside, fast asleep. The man suffered severe burns in the fire. The following day, the three boys were walking through a quiet alley when they crossed paths with the old man whose shelter they had destroyed. Recognizing them instantly, the old man confronted them, accusing them of the act. Panicking, the boys did the unthinkable. They attacked and killed him. They took his body deep into the mountains, intending to bury the evidence. Coincidentally, Chief Dam was nearby in the same forest, gathering mushrooms. Suddenly, the old man's dog ran up to him, whining and tugging at his clothes. Following the dog, Chief Dam was led straight to the fresh grave where the boys had buried the old man. Unaware, the boys were making their way back down the mountain when a thick fog suddenly engulfed them. They fell unconscious, and when they woke up, they were tied up, completely unable to move. Standing in front of them was Chief Dam, this time with an excavator by his side. Without saying much, he began operating the machine, using it to bury the boys alive, slowly and deliberately. Even as they cried, begged, and screamed for forgiveness, Chief Dam didn't flinch. To him, this was justice. Another good deed done. This guy is Fuwa, who is an active dad commentator. He gives good advice for parents, like dad should also change baby's diapers and also help mother to raise the baby property. He gives many interviews like this and also has many fans. Of course, all of them are women or mothers. Fuwa also has a wife and 2 children. He always uses them as examples in his interviews, saying how he helps his wife in raising children. But it turns out that Fuwa is not someone people think him to be. He has another female with whom he is in a sexual relationship. After that, when he was about to go home, he accidentally dropped his handkerchief. Coincidentally, Chief Dam was also there with his dog. He picked up the handkerchief and went to Fuwa to give it back to him. But he thought that Chief Dam is just his fan who is here for an autograph. So, he gave him the signed copy of his book and left without taking back the handkerchief that he dropped. At home, he was welcomed by his wife and kids. But he didn't respond and looked towards the food. When he saw that it's not that great, he asked his wife why she didn't cook the food properly. She answered that she had some serious period cramps. That's why she wasn't able to work properly. Hearing that, Fuwa got angry and said that she is just making excuses. He doesn't even help his wife in raising children, and if she made even a little mistake in taking care of kids, he gets angry and beats her. Today, he was out on a picnic with his family because it's weekend. He is acting good outside and taking care of his family just to show people how he works hard in the studio and also takes care of his family. Right there, he got a call from a girl named Himari. She's a girl who also used to have sexual relationships with Fuwa. She has called him to tell him that she is pregnant. Hearing that, Fuwa got really angry because when they were doing the deed, he thought that she had eaten a birth control pill. So, he met Himari and learned how she has left being an idol and is working in a convenience store to earn a little money. Hearing her story, Fuwa took out a load of money and gave it to her. He asked her to abort the baby and never contact him again. Himari took the money and left with a smile. After 10 months, when Fuwa was about to leave the studio, Himari was standing outside with her baby. She took Fua to her room to explain everything that happened. She said that she was about to abort that baby as he suggested, but when he reached the hospital, she felt the baby moving in her stomach and decided to give birth to the baby. But Fua thought that she was doing all this for money and threw a load of money at her, asking her to not come to him ever again. Himari picked up the money from the ground, which made him sure that she is doing this for money. But he got shocked to see that she was giving the money back to him. She told him that she called him here not for money, but to give the money that she took from him to abort the baby 10 months ago. Seeing that, Fua got really angry and started beating her. Filled with anger, he beat her so hard that he didn't even realize that she had died from his beating, because of which he got really scared, wondering what he should do now. In the end, he picked up the crying baby and put him in the closet. After that, he removed all of his fingerprints or his traces of being here and left the building. Next day, the body was discovered and police started investigating the scene. Chief Dam was also one of the investigators. Fortunately, the baby was rescued from the closet and survived. After some days of searching, the case was going nowhere because there's no evidence who committed this crime. One day, Fua was talking about this incident in an interview, saying how bad this incident is and blah blah. But suddenly, Fua talked about how the baby was found in the closet. These words of his made Chief Dam's eye twitch. This happened because police or investigators never told anyone that the baby was rescued from the clothes. In the next moment, a ninja appeared in Fua's resting room and kidnapped him. When Fua woke up, he was in a water tank completely tied up. The tank was filling up slowly with water. In front of him was the Chief Dam standing. After a little, Chief Dam stopped the water because the tank was almost filled. When Fua asked Chief Dam why he's doing this to him, he answered that he had tortured and murdered Himari. When the Chief Dam was about to start pouring in the water again, Fua himself admitted all his crime. It turns out that Chief Dam also knows how Fua abused his wife physically and kids mentally. When Fua asked him if he was doing this for revenge, he said that he's just a cop, a killer cop. With that, Chief Dam opened up the water supply, which caused him to drown. In the end, Chief Dam took Fua's final picture and completed the punishment. After that, all the crimes of Fua started coming up on TV, and everyone learned how bad of a person he was. Some days later, Chief Dam went to a mountain with his team to enjoy vacations. There, his colleague asked him about his girl type. Chief Dam answered that he was once in love. He said every time he saw his love, his heart started beating intensely. His colleague asked him about what his love is doing now. Chief Dam answered that his love died in a crime. In a nearby room, a chairman of some big company was bullying one of his employees. When Chief Dam and his team heard the noises, they immediately went to that room and arrested everyone. Unfortunately, the chairman ran away in the forest. But this was his biggest mistake, as Chief Dam found him and shot him with a face gun. This causes him to sleep off of the mountain, because of which he died. After that, when Chief Dam and his team was going back, he looked toward his hands and said, "Oh my love, I wish I could have killed you myself." Nanam is a high school student who really loves his teacher because he is handsome, but she thought that she ugly and he'll never love her. As today is Valentine's Day, Nanami left a chocolate with a note on which her number is written inside his table. At night, when Nanami was thinking that she'll never get a message from Takamura, a message arrived on her phone. When she checked, it was Takamura thanking her for the chocolate. From that moment onward, they both started messaging each other like they were lovers. But one day, Takamura asked her to send nudes. At first, she was shocked seeing the message, but in the end, she sent him. But Takamura's demand kept on getting worse and worse. One day, when Nanami checked Takamura's computer in school, she was shocked to see that there were many folders with different girls' names. It turns out Takamura has already done the same thing with many other girls, trapping them with his sweet talks and then getting their naked photos. Seeing the situation, Nanami reminds him that he called her different from other girls. So Takamura said that he was just trapping her to get her photos and also called them ugly. She can't even do anything because Nanami's mom works in a hotel that is owned by Takamura's brother. If she reports him to the police, he will kick her mom out of the work. Hearing all that, she got so heartbroken that he went to a mountain to commit suicide. Meanwhile, Chief Dam was also on the same mountain. And guess what? He's here to buy this whole mountain. Now we know how he gets space and money to punish all the criminals up until now. Bro is damn rich. Suddenly, Nanami jumped from the cliff. Chief Dam saw that and jumped in the river to save her. After surviving, Nanami asked him if he's an angel. Chief Dam answered that he might be a demon. With that, Nanami was taken to the hospital where her mom thanked Chief Dam for saving her daughter. Right then, Takamura also came running to the hospital asking about the health of Nanami. In the room, when Nanami tried to find her phone in which all her photos are, she wasn't able to find it. Meanwhile, Chief Dam and Takamura were talking. When Takamura asked him where he's headed, he said that he's going to Tokyo. Unfortunately, the road was blocked and it will stay like that for 2 to 3 days. So, Takamura showed generosity and asked Chief Dam to stay in his brother's hotel for that time. In the hotel's bar, Takamura was talking to his brother about everything he did until now. And the phone that Nanami lost is also with Takamura. He talked about everything that he did to Nanami and other girls. Coincidentally, Nanami's mom, who was here for her work, heard their conversation and talked to them. She said that she will report to the police and left. But there's someone else who also heard everything. And that someone is Chief Dam. When he heard everything, his eyes twitched. At night, Takamura was going to the school because he had to remove all the evidence from his computer. When he reached there and turned on the computer to do so, an anatomy dummy moved and kidnapped Takamura. He woke up on a mountain where Chief Dam was burning marshmallows. Chief Dam gave him 2 choices. First is folk dancing, and second is burning to death. Hearing the choices, Takamura started shouting angrily. In the end, he ran out of time without giving any answer. So, Chief Dam brought gasoline and poured some of it on Takamura. With that, he tied him with a chair and brought him to the end of the cliff. Now Takamura realized that Chief Dam will not listen to his normal begging. He started saying that his dad will give him a lot of money if he'll let him. But Chief Dam said that he doesn't work like that, and also reveals that he is doing this because he overheard what they were saying in the bar. With that, Chief Dam put the guy on fire and asked him to jump in the river if he wanted to survive. But when Takamura jumped down, he died after hitting a rock. In the end, Chief Dam just danced majestically. So, guys, this isn't the end. There's one more chapter available, but that chapter is not that good, because of which I am not going to cover that. The story hasn't ended, but there is no news of continuation. But if you guys have any other brutal stories like this, tell me in the comments.